Well, I'm here with Helen today for the Blind Fire Challenge. And this is actually, and this is a neat one that you can do yourselves as an experiment. And it's one of the toughest challenges I think that we do out here. Not physically, unless it's colder out, but it's not too bad today. But mentally, emotionally, this is one that it really can induce a high level of frustration. So that's usually how people bow out of it, is they succumb to frustration. So it's a great builder for our mental state. It requires us to think pretty strategically, and it also mimics a real situation that many of us might encounter, which is that you get to a camp area and you you want to start a fire for the night, but you got there kind of late and somebody's having an issue with their pack, and so you're trying to help them with that, and one thing leads to another. By the time it becomes time to start a fire, it's dark out. Yeah. And so of course it's never going to be this dark, so we're making it more difficult. And the other thing is that once you get a little spark or something, or a small flame, then you'd have light. But here you don't. So we're making it much more difficult than it would actually be.
I feel like I was just thinking like how it actually be when it would be when it would like at night.
Yeah.
I feel like being able to see, not that it would be harder than seeing absolutely nothing, but like being able to see just a little bit, I feel like would make my mind make up stories and like I don't know. I mean, it's not that bad, but just kind of like I feel like I would kind of be led astray almost more easily.
I think that's really true. So there's actually a weird advantage to being completely blind. But once we realize that or learn that, then when we're in those situations, because we're so visual, if we have any visual capacity, we can start leaning on that so much.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you're completely handicapped. There's no way you're going to get fire because you can't see. But if you can learn to do it without vision, then when you have that little teeny bit of vision, instead that can become an advantage, right? You can switch that mental game around.
Right.
But you're right, I've seen so many people get really frustrated when it's low light because they're trying to depend on that visual capacity. So this teaches us to use our other senses, which are really powerful. They're just underused and we don't believe in them anymore. The rules of the game. So for you, and if you want to try it yourself, it's nice to have somebody select a place for you, but you could select your own place up to the skill level that you feel would be appropriate. The first time you're going to do this, leave yourself some resources in the area. So I've looked around and I've tried to find a place that has ample resources, but they're not all in one place, so it means you have to move around. And we're going to start in one position, put on that blindfold, and right before we put on that blindfold, especially this first time, I like to give people a minute or two to just look at your environment and assess what you have around you. And when you do that, you can kind of see, okay, what do I have available? Then that blindfold goes on. The goal is to get a fire started, and you're going to use a magnesium fire starter. You can use whatever you want. It could be matches, it could be that magnesium fire starter. I think you have some matches as backup if you just can't get the flint and steel is a good one to do this with. And
Paper.
oh, paper. There we go. And so choosing your fire starting method, nothing wrong with having that backup in place if you want to. And we're looking for a fire here that has a heart, so that you've got enough materials in there, it's forming coals, that you could walk away for 5-10 minutes, come back, and if not have flames, at least be able to blow it back into flames. That's our goal.
Okay.
All right, any questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. So
What's the this is my area. I can't. You're not gonna move me around.
So I'm starting you here, but you could walk 100 meters in any direction if you want to just take off somewhere. So really no rules after we start, but I did select a place that you should be able to make a fire with what's in the area, hopefully. Okay.
Ooh.
It's pretty black, huh?
Get used to this, and then
Just take a few minutes to assess, like, just to soak into the environment, kind of?
or to like try to let go of, kind of like let go of my eyes, and then to let my ears and hands or other senses come in. Like
No.
I'm like I have my I have my eyes closed, even though I have the blindfold on. So it's kind of a just kind of a way for me to like try to let go of my eyes.
That's awesome wisdom. I've actually never seen anybody take that time before. But to allow that switch to happen a little bit. Yeah.
So interesting to like see with your hands. I wish I did it more often. It's
Our senses, they can wake up so much, but it really never happens as long as we're visually dependent.
Mm-hmm. My hands wet. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna try to make the... Okay, good to know this tree. Okay. I don't remember seeing any ones on the ground. I'll try not to.
You're as tender-hearted about trees as I am. That would be me too. You just always have an efficiency about you when you're taking on these challenges. You saw that and you knew exactly what you wanted to go for. I mean, the very peels of bark that you were after, right?
I know what I need if I'm... Just because I know how I'm going to make the fire.
Yeah.
I've relied on this method. I need to expand on my fire making methods, but... Yeah, I want to get like a kind of a wider, flatter piece of bark so I can shave it, and then I can get the sparks on the dust.
Nice.
Kind of feel like I want to turn into an animal and just like put stuff in my mouth and crawl.
Are you tracking yourself back?
I don't know if these are mine. These might be yours. I'm trying to though. My hands are getting cold. It's hard to feel my track. It's really smooth.
Jeez, that's incredible. I would want you on my side.
Very slow.
think you found your spot, but you're trying to find your tree.
Yeah. It must be behind. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there it is. There you are.
Nice.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much that happens with the sense of touch as far as being able to distinguish what sticks are going to work in a fire. You really can start to feel that in a different way.
It's like, oh, this is lighter, so. Yes, you don't have to tell me, but I feel like my camp is like that way.
Is that way?
Yeah. But I almost feel like going like straight, but
Okay, I won't say anything, but
yeah. But because I'm saying kind of that way because I feel like my tracks are going to. I mean, I haven't gone that far, so it shouldn't be that difficult.
oh, it's one of those common things, though, is that people create a little camp. Often they'll leave their fire starting stuff there, and then they go off to get materials. They can never find their camp again.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something that can happen at night to people too, and it's extremely frustrating and scary. Look at you.
I feel like I have to.
There's your tree.
I have to touch my tree every time. You're like, okay.
Hands doing okay?
My feet are getting cold.
Your feet?
It's always my feet.
Oh. If you do set this challenge up for somebody, remember things like, well, you saw how she was using her hands to follow her steps to track herself. So if you walk around in an area and leave all kinds of tracks in the snow, you muck it up for the person. So really trying to think of things like that.
I'm guessing this is hazel.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're identifying species just blind. That is hazel.
It's just, it acts like hazel. Like it's very, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of nature literacy that I would love to see explored more by people. I mean, we can learn the Latin names of plants and get to know, them on that level, but boy, to know a plant by feel, by taste, by the way it acts in our hands, that's the kind of nature literacy that I think our ancestors it was normal for them. As usual, you're taking the time to engineer a really nice fire here, huh?
I want to get it the first time.
Get it the first time. What species of branch is that one?
Ironwood?
That's the ironwood, okay.
Yeah. Broken off.
That's really good burning wood.
Yep. It's really dry.
Yeah.
Dry too, so.
That was Brett's favorite wood, I think, because it has those really thin little ends.
Mm.
So it's really nice for getting a fire started, but it has such a high BTU.
Yeah.
And it just, wow, it burns hot and really nice.
Okay, I have to think about how I want my.
What is it?
Red pine?
Red pine. Wow, nice.
I said red oak. Such a perfectionist. Like I'm feeling the sticks. Like okay, that's the long, or this is the white end. That's
Oh.
the smaller end. I want to get it so the long end on the or the wider end on the bottom. This is like I might not. I might be able to like make a fire, but I would take forever. Forever trying to get everything right.
But you get the fire, you know?
Hopefully.
So it's, I think that's the key we've seen over and over again. You're not the fastest to get a fire out here, but sometimes those that are trying to do it faster, they try once, they try 2, 3, 4 times, and it can take so much energy and frustration that by the time you do get a fire, you're kind of emotionally maxed out.
Such small pieces.
Even though I'm being cognizant of my tracks, I'm also wandering around a little bit so that my position doesn't tell her exactly where her camp is. Oh, you're trying to find your way back via tracks again?
Uh-huh.
But your hands are getting really cold.
Or yeah, this one. I'm trying to rely on my tracks until I find that log.
Oh, okay. So your tracks, and then there's that log that runs along, basically leads you to the tree, right?
My hands going numb, so I'm using my face now.
I see that, yeah. You're putting your cheeks and your lips up against it to feel the...
That's the red oak. Ugh. Red pine.
the red pine. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, that hand is really cold, isn't it?
Is that my fire? Uh-oh. Yeah.
Nice, you didn't crush it though. I thought you were going to crush it.
It's so weird to imagine myself being blind, to imagine where I'm walking, totally isn't exactly where it is. Like when I hit it, I thought I was that's weird.
Yeah, we have this internal...
I thought it was gonna be right here. Far up.
Get that internal mapping sense, and it always tells us where we are. When we're blind, it doesn't turn off. It just keeps saying, you're here, even though often it's completely off. And that leads to a lot of confusion, mental confusion.
Is this a pine branch?
Yes, it is. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely tricky to set a fire when you're blind. Getting enough little stuff. You have stuff in reserve too, it looks like. So you can be
Oh, yeah, here.
setting stuff on top once you get flames.
Mm-hmm.
A little more birch and then you're going to light it. Okay.
Alright, you've been walking around here. Don't follow your steps.
Okay, so you're feeling a little lost?
A little bit. I mean, it's in that general direction. But it's like even it kind of reminds me of using a compass. And
Oh,
if you're just a few degrees off,
yes.
you miss it.
Very similar.
So, no, is that birch worth it?
Okay, so you're trying to track yourself back.
Yeah.
Ooh, good stuff.
I feel like I'm just following yours.
Yeah?
Your tracks. Because your tracks are a bit bigger than mine. But if you walked in my tracks, I can't tell.
Yeah, I've got my Bigfoot boots on.
What the?
Your tree.
So funny. I'm not that far away. Crap, where am I standing? No, 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 no. Oh, man. Oh, wait, where am I? There's my... Okay, good. Jeez, okay, this is weird.
Oh my god.
Where did I go? Okay. So the birch tree is like right over there. I don't know, did I head in? I must have headed in.
Yeah, good, good.
That way? Okay. Birch tree, here, come.
Going for it again?
This time I'm gonna use a stick. Is that cheating, using a stick?
No, no. Use anything in your environment.
Okay. I'll try walking. See how that goes. It's almost more scary not being
Yes.
because I'm not as, I don't know, things feel more, explain it. I don't have as much contact.
Yeah. Crawling is really nice, isn't it? It just gets cold in this weather.
There you are. I need to keep my hands warm so I can.
Do right. I know, all this work and all this getting cold and maybe the toughest part is still ahead. some echolocation. Sometimes you can sense a big tree if it's close. Nice, you're tracking yourself back. Man, it's got to be painful on the hands. What's your intuition tell you? Not your mapping sense. So the mapping sense is really loud. It wants to say where you are. Does your intuition say something though? It's really much quieter voice.
Well, I don't feel like I'm that far off from the birch tree.
Okay.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, if you could track with the stick.
Is that a step where my stick is? No, it's just Is that a step? You want to tell me? Like, I'm trying to tell.
You'll be able to see on film.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a...
Okay, so you made one there. I didn't capture that. And you're feeling it with the stick.
So it's like I can't hear the snow. What if I do? Yeah, that's what I don't want to hear.
Okay.
But I'm trying to hear for something that's a little harder, like a little crunchier.
I think you know where the birch tree is. It's just listening to that intuition.
Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Ah, look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, I still keep heading more that way.
Yeah. You can get this little creature off your shoulder.
What is it?
There is a caterpillar.
I thought so, maybe. I don't know why I thought that.
You can find a little home for it. Okay, warming your hands up for the final part of this, huh?
Alright, this is gonna be interesting. I feel like I'm gonna get such small dust, fine dust. I don't know if I'll be able to get the strips.
Because this birch bark's so dry.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, we'll see. This is gonna be so interesting.
Super tricky, isn't it?
It's gonna be so. I think I'll like watch for or listen for like crackling of the birch.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Something feels like it's no, not quite. Something definitely smells. I think that's this neck. Oh man. Yeah, this is frustrating. I just hate the idea of me like ruining my little dust pile. I can just imagine seeing that happen. something burning? No, it keeps going out. I think. Man, I just hope it's not just burning the dust. Still dust there, so it's charred. Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go. Okay. Oh man, everything just feels so disorganized.
Good.
I don't know where anything is.
You got some more perch, yeah.
I'm trying to get it in my
Yeah.
in the thing. I don't know if it is in there. I want to get the rest of the birch. Oh, it must be then. I don't know.
You got great flames.
Is it?
You get more,
Come on, is it in there?
more sticks on there. Go, Helen.
This is why I wish I had more smaller sticks to add on.
You just keep putting sticks right on that heat. Yeah, way to keep your calm.
Sounds really nice.
It does, doesn't it?
I wonder if it's catching on to any of the sticks. Like it must. I hope it must be. I just hope it's not just burning out the birch bark.
That's a good sound. Helen.
Oh man, I don't know where my knife is. That's not a good thing. This.
Nice. Okay, Helen, I want you to see if you can find your knife quick.
Be responsible now.
And then I'm going to ask you to remove your blindfold.
That's so bright.
It's so bright, huh?
Woo!
And look at what you have done, because that is a gorgeous fire. Holy cow! Dang!
Oh, it's so pretty.
That is Jedi level. Holy cow!
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Feel pretty good. Wow.
Yeah, there's your birch tree. You wandered up, you're right, you wandered up to that cherry tree. Right there.
Yeah.
And that's where you got a little lost. And you got lost down here a little bit once, but you kept finding your way back. Oh my gosh. That is incredible. So everybody that's watching, this is something for you to take on. Maybe we'll put that challenge out before people. Like, try this out.
Yeah, it's really, I thought it was fun. But yeah, it's really, yeah. It's a good challenge, I think.
Yeah. Make a video and show us your experience, or just write about it in the comments if you give it a try. Woo. That is gorgeous. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll hear from you in the comments. All right. Love to you all.